2 days ago, investigative journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp released classified Pentagon footage. Footage I recorded. August 23, 2012, Persian Gulf. My MQ-9 Reaper drone captured 3 objects flying in perfect triangular formation. No heat signature. No radar cross-section. Moving at speeds that should be impossible. And then, September 14th, 2021, southern Syria. A single object, defying every law of physics I understand. Extreme speed. Instant acceleration. No visible means of propulsion. For 14 years, those recordings sat in Pentagon archives. Classified. Buried. With my name attached as the operator who captured them. They told me I'd never see them again. Until 48 hours ago, when Jeremy Corbell released them to the public. And now, I can finally tell my side of the story. Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force. Honorably discharged, 2023. 12 years active duty. MQ-9 Reaper remote pilot. 3,400 flight hours. Operated over Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Persian Gulf, Horn of Africa. When most people think drone pilot, they picture someone with a joystick playing a video game. That's not what we do. Wingspan, 66 feet. Can stay airborne for 14 hours. Cruises at 230 miles per hour. Operational ceiling, 50,000 feet. Carries 3,750 pounds of ordnance. And we operate them from ground control stations. Creech Air Force Base, Nevada. Sitting in what looks like a shipping container. 3 monitors, flight controls, communications equipment. Operating a drone 7,000 miles away in real time. I trained for 18 months before my first operational mission. Flight school at Holloman AFB. MQ-9 qualification at Creech. Intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance procedures. Weapons systems training. Combat tactics. My job was ISR. Intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. Fly patterns over areas of interest. Record everything the sensors see. Infrared, electro-optical, full motion video. Transmit it all back to intelligence analysts. Most missions are boring. Hours and hours of watching empty desert, or ocean, or mountains. You're looking for patterns, movement, heat signatures, anything unusual. That mission was not boring. I was assigned to Operation Enduring Freedom Support, Persian Gulf Maritime Patrol. Standard ISR mission. Launch time, 1,800 hours Zulu. Mission duration, 12 hours. Area of operations, Strait of Hormuz region between Saudi Arabia and Iran. My drone launched from an undisclosed location. I won't specify where. But within 30 minutes, it was on station over the Persian Gulf. Altitude, 25,000 feet. Infrared sensor mode. Looking for Iranian naval activity. My sensor operator was Airman First Class Rodriguez. Good kid. Sharp eyes. He controlled the camera gimbal while I flew the aircraft. Standard crew of 2. We'd been on station for 3 hours. Routine patrol. Recording surface vessels. Tracking their movements. Nothing unusual. Then, at 21:18 Zulu, Rodriguez said, "Hey, I got 3 contacts. Airborne. Low altitude. I checked my radar display. Nothing. I don't have them on radar, I said. Rodriguez. Visual confirmed. Infrared. 3 objects. Flying in formation. I looked at his monitor feed, and there they were. 3 bright thermal signatures. Against the dark Persian Gulf water, flying in perfect triangular formation. The thing is, infrared sees heat. Aircraft engines are hot. You see them clearly on thermal imaging. These objects were giving off heat, but not like jet engines. More like uniform glow. The entire object radiating. Rodriguez said, "They're moving. Fast." I started recording, hit the archive button. Everything the sensors saw was now being recorded and transmitted to ops. The 3 objects maintained perfect triangular formation, separated by what looked like 200 meters each, flying at maybe 500 feet above the water. Speed? I estimated 300 knots. Then one of them dropped back, just decelerated instantly. No gradual slowdown, instant speed change, like someone hit a brake pedal. That's not how aircraft work. You can't just stop in midair. Physics doesn't work that way. And then it accelerated forward, caught up to the formation in seconds. No visible thrust, no exhaust plume, just instant acceleration. Rodriguez, are you seeing this? Me, yeah, I'm seeing it. Rodriguez, what the hell are they? I didn't have an answer. I contacted the operations center. Creech, this is Reaper 27. We have 3 unidentified aircraft. Request guidance. Ops came back. Reaper 27, maintain observation. Continue recording. Do not engage. We watched for 17 minutes. The objects maintained formation, made course changes together, perfectly synchronized, like they were connected or coordinated. Then at 21:35 Zulu, they just vanished. All 3 simultaneously. One frame they were there. Next frame, gone. Not flew away, not accelerated beyond our sensor range, just disappeared. Rodriguez and I sat there in silence for probably 30 seconds, both of us staring at empty screens. Finally, he said, "Did that just happen?" I said, "Yeah," and we recorded every second of it. When we landed the drone 3 hours later, we were immediately pulled into debrief. Intelligence officers, our squadron commander, 2 civilians I'd never seen before. They asked us to describe what we saw. Every detail. How many objects, formation pattern, speed estimates, behavior, duration, disappearance. Then one of the civilians said, "The footage you recorded is classified. You will not discuss this mission with anyone. Not your friends, not your family, not other pilots. This incident is compartmented information. Understood?" We both said, "Yes, sir," but I knew what I'd seen, and I knew it was in that recording. Proof. Undeniable proof. September 14th, 2021. I was flying a mission over southern Syria. Different area, different mission parameters, but same aircraft type, NQ-9 Reaper,
By 2021, I was a staff sergeant, senior remote pilot. 2,800 flight hours at that point. Experienced. I'd seen a lot. But nothing prepared me for what happened at 1442 Zulu. My sensor operator suddenly said, "Contact, fast mover, extreme speed." I looked at the infrared feed. Single object, bright thermal signature, moving, impossibly fast.
We're talking speeds that I can't even estimate. Faster than any aircraft I've ever tracked. Faster than anything in our inventory. And it was maneuvering. Not like a jet. Jets bank. They turn gradually. This thing changed direction instantly. No turn radius, no arc. Just 90-degree direction changes at impossible speed. And then it stopped. Mid-air. From what looked like Mach 2 or 3 to 0. Instantly. I've been flying drones for years. I understand physics. I understand aircraft performance. What I was watching shouldn't be possible. I immediately started recording, called ops. Same protocol as the Persian Gulf incident. Maintain observation. Continue recording. Do not engage. The object hovered for maybe 10 seconds, then accelerated again. Same impossible speed. Same instant acceleration. And then it was gone. Out of sensor range in seconds. 43 seconds. But in those 43 seconds, that object violated every principle of aerodynamics I've ever learned. Same debrief protocol. Intelligence officers. Civilians. Detailed questioning. And same order. This footage is classified. You will not discuss this mission. I was discharged from the Air Force in 2023. Honorable. 12 years of service. No issues. But those two incidents stayed with me. I kept thinking, where did that footage go? Who's analyzing it? What did they conclude? Are they investigating these objects? Or just burying them? Then, February 6th, 2026, 2 days ago, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp released the footage. My footage. I was at home, checking social media, and there it was, posted on their podcast, Weaponized, the Persian Gulf incident. 3 orbs in triangular formation. The exact footage I recorded in 2012. And in their reporting, they said the Pentagon had archived it, called the objects orbs, noted the impossible acceleration, confirmed it was shot by an MQ-9 Reaper drone. Everything I saw, everything I reported, now public. My first thought was, how did they get that? That was classified. Pentagon archives. Compartmented. Someone leaked it. My second thought was, finally, people can see what I saw. Finally, there's proof. Corbell and Knapp also mentioned there was a Syria incident. 2021. Single object. Extreme speed. No propulsion visible. That's my second recording. For 14 years, I thought those recordings were locked away forever. That the American people would never see them. That the evidence would just disappear into classified archives. But now it's out there. And now I can speak. I don't know if they're foreign adversary technology. Russian? Chinese? I don't know if there's something else entirely. Non-human? Extraterrestrial? I don't have those answers. But I know what I recorded. I know what I saw. And I know the Pentagon has been sitting on this footage for years. 3 objects in the Persian Gulf. Perfect triangular formation. Instant acceleration and deceleration. No heat signature consistent with known propulsion. Disappearing simultaneously. 1 object over Syria. Extreme speeds. 90-degree turns at impossible velocity. Instant stop from Mach plus speeds. No visible means of propulsion. That's not experimental aircraft. That's not anything in our inventory. That's not anything anyone's inventory should have. Because the physics don't work. And now, thanks to Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, you can see it too. The exact footage I recorded, unedited. The same thermal imagery I watched in real time. This isn't blurry photos. This is military-grade sensor footage, recorded by Pentagon systems, archived by Pentagon officials, and now leaked to the public. I'm coming forward now because the footage is already out there. My name is attached to those missions and military records. There's no point staying silent. And more importantly, the American people deserve to know. You deserve to see what your military has been recording. You deserve to see what we've been tracking. You deserve to know we're not alone in our skies. He said he was shown classified UAP videos in a Pentagon briefing. Objects defying physics, moving at impossible speeds. This is what he's talking about. This connects to the Navy's Tic Tac videos. USS Nimitz encounter. Objects with no visible propulsion. Instant acceleration. Same phenomenon. This connects to David Grush's testimony. Pentagon programs recovering non-human technology. Crash retrievals. Biological entities. It's all connected. The Pentagon knows. They've known for years. Decades. Maybe longer. They have the footage. They have the data. They have the sensor logs. And they've been hiding it. Until now. This is my testimony. Staff Sergeant Michael Hayes, United States Air Force, MQ-9 Reaper pilot, 3,400 flight hours, 12 years of service. I recorded that footage. I saw those objects. I reported them through proper channels. And the Pentagon classified it all. But you can't classify the truth forever. Not when journalists like Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp are willing to bring it to light. Not when pilots like me are willing to speak up. Not when the evidence is this clear. The orbs over the Persian Gulf are real. The object over Syria is real. The footage is real. And what it shows shouldn't exist. If you want to hear more testimonies like this, real accounts from military personnel who've encountered these phenomena, subscribe to this channel. The disclosure is happening. Right now. In real time. They can't keep this secret anymore. Not when the footage is public. Not when witnesses are speaking. Not when the truth is this obvious. My name is Michael Hayes. I flew the drone. I recorded the footage. I saw what the Pentagon doesn't want you to see. And today, I'm telling you the truth. The orbs are real. And it's time
Everyone knew.